What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous back again with another installment of 1430. And I decided for this video I'm gonna do something a little different. Instead of my usual opinion videos where I give you my thoughts on a few different topics, I decided to just tell a little story instead. For the 1 year anniversary of my album, Dream Till It's Over, that came out 1 year ago today from when you're watching this video. I'm gonna tell the story about how Kendrick Lamar stepped all over my album release. And disclaimer for the Kendrick stands: I don't want anybody coming at me crazy. This is no hate. This is all love. This is really more of a funny story. It's something that I laughed about at the time, and a year later, I can still laugh at it. I know I'm a small indie artist. I know I'm not on Kendrick's radar at all at the moment. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like this was intentional or anything like that. And like I've said previously, I am a Kendrick fan, despite what people might think after watching my last video that I posted on here. I am a Kendrick fan. So this is just all fun, it's all love, no hate whatsoever. But because Kendrick decided to drop Euphoria on the exact same day that I dropped this album, it unintentionally stepped all over my album release. But let me start from the beginning. So I'm getting ready to put out this album, Dream Till It's Over, an album that I was working on for about a year. I was writing, recording, producing, mixing, mastering, the whole shebang. I was doing it solo, so it took me a little bit longer. Worked on it for about a year. It's an album that means a lot to me. First of all, I picked April 30th for a couple reasons. April 30th was a significant date for me. It was the day that I was arrested for a DWI, and it kind of started this downward spiral in 2017 that took me a long time to recover. There's a lot of different tragedies. I will spare you the details right now. But it was just a long list of things that just kept happening back to back that I was trying to pull myself out of after a while. And this album was supposed to be a celebration of me getting over that hump and getting over, those periods in my life. So it had that significance, but also it was a random Tuesday. I was hoping that I was out of the way as much as possible. As a small indie artist, in general, under normal circumstances, it is hard to get people to listen to your music that haven't already listened to it and that were already not fans of you. So I'm thinking, all right, everybody else drops music traditionally on Friday, whether albums, singles, whatever. I'm hoping that, hey, maybe, on a Tuesday, on a random Tuesday at the end of April, I could get a few more, new ears, because I'm not dropping when all the big artists are at the same time. So, I had that reason and the significance of that date to drop on April 30th. So the album comes out, it's weeks of prep, weeks of teasing and promoting, put out a music video for my song Left Alone earlier in the month, had a show earlier in the month where I talked about the album and the story behind it. And I'm thinking all right, I'm ready to go. Got the album, ready to go for DSPs, everyone except for Spotify. I have a few videos where I talked about how I disagreed with Spotify's 1,000 play threshold and just, the whole streaming game with Spotify in general. So I'm releasing it everywhere but Spotify, mainly focusing on places like Bandcamp and my website, www.vinnie-dangerous.com. So I think I'm all set. I'm ready to go. Had a listening event 2 days before that. I almost forgot about that. It's the first time I did an online listening event. But yeah, and there was excitement around that when people heard the full album for the first time. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I stayed up till midnight waiting for the album to drop, from midnight to about 12 in the afternoon. So about a good 12 hours, give or take. I'm getting a lot of love. People, I'm seeing the numbers go up. I'm seeing the numbers go up on Bandcamp and all, whatever streaming, platform except for Spotify, you can name it. I'm watching all those charts, like watching the numbers go up, getting the compliments, getting the messages, really feeling good. And ironically enough, that day I also had training that I had to be at my day job for. I usually work from home, but this particular week I had to be in the office. So in between, training sessions, I'm checking the phone, checking this and the third. So at 12 o'clock we go to lunch, and I'm excited to take my food outside and open my phone so I can check this stuff out. And I can't remember what platform it was. I don't think I was on Blue Sky at the time, but I know I was on Threads. So I opened up Threads, I think, and the first thing that I see when trying to check everything else, first thing I see, Kendrick dropped. And just like everybody else, I completely forgot about everything I was doing and went straight to see what did he drop. Because like everybody else, I am anticipating what Kendrick's response is going to be to Drake after push-ups, after Taylor Made Freestyle. I let it be known when everything kicked off at the Like that dropped. I've said it numerous times on this channel. I picked Kendrick to win from jump. Even before Cole dropped out, I just had a feeling that when it's all said and done, Kendrick is going to come out on top in this battle of the big threes. So like everybody else, I'm like, yo, I'm excited. I'm ready to see what Kendrick has to say after this dude has gotten super disrespectful with the Tupac AI stuff, mentioning Whitney's name on push-ups. I'm ready to hear it. And just like a lot of people, I absolutely loved Euphoria when I first heard it. And I played it a few times. Really getting excited. I'm texting my girl. I'm texting my boy Just. I'm texting a few other people yo, man, you got to check this out. I think I posted it on Facebook. And then as soon as I hit post on Facebook, it hit me. When you drop an album, the whole conversation on your social media is supposed to be about your album. You're supposed to be excited. You're supposed to be trying to tell people, hey man, this is what you should be listening to. And I'm, for a lack of better terms, I'm conflicted.
I remember you was conflicted.
I want to talk about my album, but then it hit me I'm not gonna be able to cut through the noise of Kendrick dropping this diss record, this epic diss record. I'm not gonna be able to cut through the noise about my album at the same time. And then I'm feeling, extra conflicted because I want to join in on the conversation. I want to join in the conversation on social media about, this record and breaking down the lyrics and stuff like that. This is the stuff that I'm super excited about when it comes to hip hop. And this is a very entertaining but very multi-layered, record. There's a lot of disses that, that you have to really kind of dig below the surface to get to, on top of the other stuff that's very direct and very understandable on first listen. So I'm excited. I want to be a part of this conversation. But then, realizing if I talk about this, I'm going to be taking away attention that could be from my album. And I think I just kind of admitted defeat after a while. I was going back and forth in my head. Luckily, I had my training at work that kind of distracted me for a little bit, so I didn't overthink it. But eventually, I just admitted defeat. It kind of, in a weird way, I felt very not relieved. That's not the word, but I just didn't feel like the only one, because there was a lot of people that tried to put out music around that time, and they stuff kind of got stepped on. If you put out an album on Friday, yeah, you wasn't cutting through the noise when Kendrick dropped 616 in LA. Drake got Family Matters, and Meet the Grams comes out that same day. So even though I tried to be as out the way as I possibly could by dropping on a random Tuesday, other people did the traditional Friday drop and got it worse. Because how are you supposed to cut through the noise, and this is D-Day for the rap, for the rap beef, the greatest rap beef of all time. How are you going to cut through the noise when that's going on? So yeah, I was very so I'm of two minds the entire day. I'm yo, I'm so excited about this record. I'm excited about Euphoria dropping, and at the same time, I'm excited about my album. But then I was just thinking like, where I had it really going differently in my head, at least for a couple days. At least for a couple days, I thought, all right, I'm gonna be able to like, get the conversation at least a little bit on myself on that day. And yeah, I had no chance. I had no chance. I had to admit, like, I had to admit defeat at that point. So, I finally like admitted defeat. I joined the conversation. I was super, like I said, I was super excited. I mean, I am super excited. Like, I love, the record. Like, Euphoria is my favorite disc record of the whole battle too. And it was something that I felt a little disappointed about in the moment, but I think after a while I just kind of took it like, hey man, my album was part of a historic day. Whether it was to my benefit or to my detriment, it was a part of a historic day, and I think I could just take, a small little victory when it comes to that. Like, matter of fact, what kind of like encompasses how I was feeling that day. Shout out to my boy Just. He's one of my go-to guys. Like when these topics come up, like when it comes to hip hop and stuff like that. You've seen him on the channel with a few episodes. He's been part of a few episodes with me. Like he called me later that day after work, and I know he didn't mean it like this. I know, Just is one of the coolest guys. One of the one of the most empathetic guys that you could kind of have in your life. So I know I know this wasn't like a malicious thing, but this is how the conversation went. So he calls me, and in the first couple minutes he's like, yo brother, I'm proud of you for putting out this album. I listened to it, I love it. It's like one of one of your best works. And he's showing me love. So it's like the first couple minutes. And then after that, like he didn't say it like this, but this is how I felt in the moment. It was just like, well, anyway, did you hear Euphoria? And that was just kind of like, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it, but also like, dang, Kendrick really did just like step all over my album. Step all over my album release. But like I said, it's just one of those things. It is what it is. Still push the album. Still feel like I had a pretty successful run with it, especially not having it on all of the streaming platforms when it first dropped. Sold a bunch of like physical copies, sold a bunch of digital copies. Got radio play on a few radios across the country. I feel good. And it's an album that I am like extremely proud of. Like it's definitely my favorite album that I've put out. Even now I listen to it and I'm almost amazed that I made it. It's like one of the things where it's like I didn't think I had it in me kind of thing. Like I even surprised myself, and I'm pretty confident in my ability as a rapper and as a little bit as a producer. I'm really confident in my musical ability, and even I would surprise myself with how good this album came out. So if you want to listen to the album, hear me talk about this album release, the link to the album will be in the description of this video. And later today, I am doing a live stream on my main channel where I am, just talking to people about the album, doing a live beat breakdown and live lyric breakdown to a song that my broadcast channel actually voted on what song they wanted me to do a live breakdown for. So make sure you join that. The link for my main channel and the live stream will also be in the description. But yeah, I wanted to do something a little different, tell that little story, tell about how I was feeling when Euphoria came out, because it is also the 1 year anniversary of that song's release as well, obviously. And yeah, like I said, it's my favorite, disc record. So it was like, yo, I really love this and I'm listening to it all the time. But man, I really wish he could have dropped it the day before, the day after, or something like that. Just let me get that 24 hours. But hey, it is what it is. Congratulations to Kendrick for all of his success as well. because you know the run he's on started before Euphoria, but I feel like it really kicked off today, and he's been running nonstop ever since. But yeah, like actually, because I had the thought to do this video because of a clip that I saw going around a few weeks ago. Academics were talking about rappers being afraid to drop.
They feel like it's harder to get attention doing what they did because Kendrick just turned this shit into a Me Too movement. You feel what I'm saying?
And their reasoning was because, you know, they can't BS the audience anymore, and people are actually going to be expecting quality for what they release next due to Kendrick kind of shifting the energy in the culture. And while I can laugh at that, because wow, the fact that you actually have to put talent and effort into your music has you scared to want to release. I can understand the fear of wanting to release when Kendrick is out here, because I experienced it firsthand what it's like to try to release something head to head with him. Unintentionally, of course. But yeah, until next time, it's your boy vinnie-dangerous. Let me know what you think about these kind of storytelling videos, because I want to switch it up, especially because I've been saying it on the social media how I've been uninspired. So this is why it's been so long since you've gotten a video from me. So let me know if doing something like this, you know, telling these stories, because I always have these kind of stories to tell. Follow me on TikTok and you'll see. And you know, just let me know if you want to see these long form videos like this, and I'll definitely produce some more for you. But until next time, it's your boy vinnie-dangerous. It's been 1430. Much love.